My name is Pranav and in this session I'm going to talk about e-governance, modes of e-governance and how e-governance is actually helping making India a real democracy. So till now we have seen e-contract, e-commerce, e-records, Information Technology Act and certain aspects of internet also. Why all of this is necessary? Why do we are doing this? Why are we doing this? So, and what is e-governance? And so to speak, what is governance? Is governance and government are the same thing? Point is, governance and government are not the same thing. Government is the body, and governance is an abstract concept of doing what legitimately a government has to do is governance, right? What is governance? Governance is basically a process through which government is talking with all of the components of a democracy, business aspects of society, economical aspects of society, societal aspects of society, personal sphere of the society. So, what all is there? How a government is communicating with its subjects, with its citizens, is governance. So, e-governance is also a creation of information technology revolution, electronic governance. So, e-governance obviously is a creation of information technology in the functioning of governmental activities, and thereby it allows direct participation of the citizens in the policy making, policy implementation and decision making. It brings out transparency in governmental services and makes the system not only responsive but also more accountable towards the citizens. It will bring less bureaucratic tendencies, red, less red tapeism, and more of transparency and openness. Now, there are certain aspects of e-governance. So, the aspects of e-governance are basically three prongs: e-services, e-administration, and e-society. So the interaction between government and citizens or government and business, commonly known as e-services, basically it's providing or procurement of services at the doorsteps of citizens and business entities. The second is e-administration. What is e-administration? E-administration is electronic administration, which means that internal government operation has to be controlled by electronically. What all files you have, what all documents you have, what all forms you have to have all those things on internet, all those things on uh, proper channels, right? Now, external interactions among the members of society is basically known as e-society. This all we see, all of these are basically major prongs of e-governance. So what is e-governance? Like I told, e-governance is the application of information technology to the and it provides to the processes of government functioning so as to have simple, accountable, speedy, transparent, and responsive government. The further, World Bank tries to define e-governance as the use of information and communication technologies by government agencies to transform relation with citizens, business, and other arms of government. So, what are basically channels of e-governance? There are various channels of e-governance. So, first is government to citizen. Right, e-governance controls the aspect of government relationships, the aspect of relationship between government and citizens, the relationship aspects of citizens and government, relationship aspect of the government and business and government, and internal government operation. So it is all e-governance means application of electronic means in the relationships of all of these things, in all these aspects. The main objective of e-governance are to simplify and improve governance and enable people's participation in governance through mail and internet. Now, e-governance is not only providing information about various activities of the government to its citizens and other organizations, but it also involves citizens to communicate with government and participate in government decision making. Now, further, e-governance can be applied or should be applied or is applied in following ways. Like, what do? You put government laws and legislation online. Put information relating to government plans, budget expenditures, and performances online. Put online key decisions like government environmental issues, citizens' right to decision, etc., which are important to citizens, and create precedents for future action. Making available contact addresses of these local, regional, national, and international officials online. Making available the reports of inquiry committees, commissions online to affected parties. Making available online the information about human rights violation by government or its officials to concerned citizens and various non-governmental organizations to evaluate the differences or effectiveness or needs of current policies and identify their strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, and to devise measures to overcome these threats, weaknesses, and only create more of opportunities and strengths. Now, e-governance should also be enabled so as to provide informed decision making at all levels by enhancing the background knowledge and providing a rationale for future course of action. Now, I think this thing would revolutionize the concept of democracy as a whole, and this will bring a real democracy. We will discuss it in coming in coming times. So, further, e-governance can be used to evaluate performance of decision makers, decision making bodies, and to establish an interactive communication channel with key policymakers and members of planning commission or Niti Ayoga, so to speak. To conduct public debate, opinions poll on issue of wider concerns before formulation of policies and legislative frameworks, or filing of grievances and receiving feedback from citizens. So, for example, filing of electronic FIR, establishing decentralized form of governance by locating various stakeholders in the process of governance. So I was talking about enabling informed decision making. So right now we are living, as per Yale University, we are living in the era of post-truth, where nothing is truth or everything is truth. It believes on the it believes on which side you basically are, right? If my side is more stronger, my side's perspective will become the truth. And if your side is weaker, your side's perspective will become a lie, a farce in the face of humanity. All this would happen. Now imagine a system wherein all information, all neutral information about anything or about everything will be provided to its citizens, and then citizens use that information in creation of their knowledge, and by creating that knowledge they can use or apply their minds, and then they can finally elect or delegate their powers to a worthy government, that government which listens to the and needs and requirements of its citizens. That is why I say e-governance will put forth a way for digital democracy. Now, digital democracy can be a way to real democracy. It can be, but it can be very well a way for abysmal paths, right? Nobody knows what's the real application and what the false application or absolutely deceived application of e-governance that we see through creation of memes, through channelizing false or fake news in this stream in online medium. So today we are so much dependent on information technology that our brains has been enslaved by information. Now, what is the nature of information? You never know the nature of information. If I provide you certain information, you believe in it, and if you not believe in it, you will believe in certain else's opinion. And by doing this, you are not using your capacity of being a human being. Till date, what has happened in democracy that of the person who has who stand last in the row, that person does not know anything, does not get anything. That person is still fighting for food, shelter, and clothing. And a real democracy is all about listening to the narrative of that person standing in the last. So obviously, e-governance can bring a real democracy, but there are there are various doubts on the application of e-governance also. So let's talk about advantageous aspects of e-governance. It makes governance cheaper in economical sense, right? Cheaper governance because it cuts financial and time cost. It makes governance quicker. So it creates quicker governance by producing the same output at the same total cost in less time. So close monitoring of government processes of performance, more accountability of public servants for their decision and actions, improve governmental efficiency and productivity, facilitates the delivery of government services to citizens through procedural simplicity, speed and convenience. Above all, improves public image of the government by making government transparent as well as provides evidence for the actions of government. So, what are the provisions within Information Technology Act for the e-governance? Chapter 3 of Information Technology Act 2000, from sections 4 to section 10, it deals with the e-governance. When various sections provides for facilitation of e-governance. Name a few like legal recognition of electronic record, legal recognition of digital signature, uh, appropriate government can various rules, and providing basis for electronic forms that we have discussed in the previous sessions, and rules by appropriate government provided under 6 subsection 2, authorization of appropriate government to set up, maintain and aggregate uh, computerized facilities provided under section 6a subsection 1. So all of these things can provide various means or facilitates the path, a way for a suitable form of electronic governance. Now, there are issues in the implementation of e-governance, and the biggest issue in the implementation of e-governance is issue at operational levels. How to operate, how to create operation, how to facilitate or get into this mode of doing governance. And this thing then further penetrates or takes us or leads us to the bigger problem, that is infrastructural development. India is a developing country, and it does not have resource, a proper resource to create infrastructure development so as to compete with the outer world. But nonetheless, we are having enough resource to create a sui generis system or our own system to facilitate e-governance. Now, with this, we have come to the end of the session, and whatever we have discussed till now in information law and technology aspect, we have seen the brighter aspect, or the good aspects of law and technology. Now we will see the evils of law and technology. Till then, thank you.